And here we go. So we're starting off with Lagoon, and the very first thing we get told is that the water is muddy and we gotta go kill monsters. And it must be, the muddy water must be causing some kind of evil here, but we don't care about that. So my first quest here is to go save Giles. And he broke his leg and climbed all the way to the top of the mountain, and that's probably not good for it, but whatever. So I think Clay brings it up about every time TJ does a run and he's doing commentary with him. The will start out, if you look at the back of the box, it says Lakeland has a drinking problem. And I guarantee you, when I'm done running this game finally, I will too.
It's funny, I was hosting for this last time, and I remember them saying the exact same thing.
Yeah. So yeah, we're told right off the bat, put on 300 gold and get ready to go. So we're gonna do that. But we're actually gonna buy some equipment with it though. And I also need a little bit of help from chat. When I come back to town with Giles the first time, just spam in there that I need to get armor, because if not, I will probably forget it. I have forgotten like every single practice run that I've done. So like I could go and buy the armor right then and there, and that would be a little bit slower actually, because we've got to get the healing pot over to Giles here. So very first thing I'm going to do when I get in here is we're going to save, because we've got some demon bear looking things that PJ calls Hercules. I just call them like the bad touch bears, because you don't want them to touch you. And we're gonna open up more treasure chests than what you normally see too. And you'll also notice that I'm taking kind of the Crystallis method through here. Yeah, I'm calling it that. We are going to pick up, or we're gonna kill enemies as much as we can along the way, because it just makes things a little bit easier as far as getting gold goes, because if you've ever played this game and you try to go and grab the shiny ball, you know that it takes 10,000 gold, which is a lot of monsters that we gotta kill. And we're gonna go into, what we're gonna do is we're gonna spend a lot of time in the dwarf cave, so we're gonna be listening to horn music for like 25 minutes straight later. In fact, I'm gonna cut this down to like 3 different grinds. It would be just the one grind, except I'm going to actually go kill a few bosses ahead of time. And the reason why is because bosses just give like a retarded amount of gold. And that's gonna cut down on our time just a little bit. So I'm still a little bit unsure. I'm still working on the route for this, but I'm a little bit unsure about picking up some of these chests that I do in the first dungeon. They might be just a little bit slower than what they actually should be. Ooh. And that right there is why we saved. I actually lost quite a bit of time there. Let's try and not do that this time. I promise I'll save and we'll make up the time. I'm actually pretty tired here, and I didn't get as much practice in as I wanted for this game. So I need to remember to save a little bit more. We're going to die a few times, but it shouldn't actually be that much. Just more than what PJ would. I will still take responsibility for that. That was actually a pretty dumb death. I couldn't even see where my sword hitbox was. So one of the big things here is I'm going to try and get into level 4 instead of level 3 to fight Samson, because he, for some reason, he is the worst boss for me. I have a real hard problem trying to find his hitbox. Every hitbox in this game, as far as boss enemies go, they have like 1 or 2 pixels of room where you can hit them, and that's it. That is literally it. It's because of the small size of your sword. It's really pretty bad. So again, I'm not promising that's the last death that there's going to be, because there's going to be more. No. Koi, I believe that's how you pronounce that. Your weapon does not get bigger. The sprite for the weapon, that looks like it's bigger if you go into the inventory screen when you get new swords, but no, it's always stays the same. You just get like different colored butter knives, I guess. That's about the best way to explain what they are. Okay, so what we're doing here is this is an escort quest, and for any of you who are maybe like new to video games or new to escort quests and don't know what they are, what we're going to do is we're going to have this guy follow right behind us, and he's going to move real slow, and depending on where you are in relationship to him, he'll try and close the shortest distance. So since I'm further right than down, he'll start moving right, and I absolutely cannot transition a screen until he's close enough. So here we go. And if you probably haven't noticed, but I actually kind of like manipulate the enemy spawns a little bit. Depending on, well, you'll see a little bit more later. Depending on like where I move, that will depend on when enemies actually get triggered to move themselves. Until you reach a certain amount of distance away from them, they'll move a little bit randomly. Like these bad touch bears, they just always move randomly. But guys later on, they will move like straight towards you. But there's a few enemies that are like just really random like that. Come on, Giles. You can do it. Okay, yeah, like that screen transition right there. That was because of where the X or the Y coordinate was on the screen. So, like, if anyone's like interested in why that was, I just basically scrolled the screen a little too far to the left, and that's why we waited till like he was like right up to the doorway before we actually exited. So I'm just getting warmed up for the boss as Samson right now. This is actually what I think speed is just like flailing around like this. And that's why I'm not actually good at this game. Cool little thing is like when you're jumping down like this, you can watch as Nasir's eyes are just like bouncing up and down. I don't know why, but I've always like found that kind of cool. Save armor, yes. We're actually pretty safe right now. I will save before the boss, but once you're in level 3, you're pretty much not going to die to any of the monsters in this cave unless you're like really, 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 really bad. You have to get hit tons and tons of times. And thank you for reminding me about my armor. I would have most definitely forgot it. We'll actually pick that up first before I pick up the key. Oh yeah, his leg is broken, but he's invincible. And now, finally, that we got him home, he can actually move at a decent rate. So just to be like really safe here, anytime that I pick up a piece of armor during this run, I'm just gonna equip it. It'll be a little bit marathon safer, and we absolutely need that for Lagoon. So I think there's like some kind of story in this game, but I read it once when I was a kid and just like never again. I did not care. This is not the best game. this is a good. I honestly think this is a good game. I think it's a fun game. It's got terrible hitboxes and there's translation errors, but there's like translation errors of like every SNES game.
Yeah, what good SNES game doesn't have translation errors?
I don't know. Even Final Fantasy had plenty of them.
Yeah, but that's Ted Woolsey.
Yeah. Come on. You'll see later on. Not right now. I'm just being stupid right now. But later on, you're gonna see me taking like intentional and semi-intentional damage boosts. Just get me to my destination a little bit more, a little bit faster. Okay, so I think I can get hit by this boss like 6 times, and I'm gonna need like every one of them. Like, I'm not kidding, this is the hardest boss for me to kill. Like, even harder than Ella is, or Nutella. Okay, first try. If I was actually one level lower, he would have just murdered me. That's the reason why I gain that one extra level when I'm doing 100%. So let's go ahead and make another save. If you're jumping, you can't save, and sometimes in the menu it thinks you're jumping, or maybe it might be that Nacier still has a little bit of momentum. I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's dumb. Sometimes I can get that guy to chase me and not waste a whole bunch of time killing him, but that didn't happen, so I'm not going to push for it. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. We're gonna fight Samson. Well, we already fought Samson. We did it without dying, but I still died in the gold cave because I'm bad. And then we're gonna fight Natella, and that's pretty much going to be the last like actual boss in the game. Everything from there just goes way downhill.
Wait, did you just say we were fighting a creamy hazelnut spread? Because I'm pretty sure I just heard you say we were fighting Nutella.
Natella, Nutella, whatever. It's the same thing. It's a chimera.
For the record, speed gaming is in no way sponsored by Nutella.
Right.
And also, I would like to point out now at this point that if you're liking this and any of the other runs you have seen or may have missed throughout the marathon, you can go ahead and see all of them on the Speed Gaming YouTube channel. We will be uploading all of these runs there eventually, and they are being uploaded throughout the marathon. So if there's any run you missed or that you want to watch again, that would be the place to do it.
Yeah, you just might have to wait a little bit while, because if it takes an hour, it's probably going to take to run it. It's probably going to take like at least a half hour to upload it. And the much longer games, they take a lot longer to upload. So we got some magic here, and this one is actually pretty awesome. We're gonna fill up our entire items. So let's grab this healing pot right now. But yeah, this fireball magic is really awesome, and then we get some wind magic, and we'll get three-wave fireball at the same time that we get the wind magic, and it's all really awesome. And then after that, all the magic is just god-awful. But since it is marathon, I've got enough time in my estimate that since it only takes like maybe a minute, not even that, to show off all the other magics, we can do that. It'll depend on if people actually want to see it or not.
Yes.
Oh boy, it's keep in mind that chat comment that I just read about the healing weed. We're gonna see that a little bit later on. So yeah, this is Thor. He's apparently like blonde and handsome, and he wants to go out for a picnic with me and just relax out under a tree. Oh, he got caught. Get over here. Apparently, Nacier's got no problem with it. So now we're heading over to, where are we headed? I don't even know. I don't really pay that much attention to names. We're going to Philip's Castle, and the Philip's Castle is pretty cool because when you're doing an any percent run, there's like whiz robes that fire randomly at you, and basically every enemy does like 70% of your health, and you're just in constant danger of like dying all the time.
Did you just say Wizrobe?
Oh yeah, there's blue Wizrobes.
Oh, wow.
They shoot actual fireballs, so.
Oh, well, if I can continue with the cheap plugs for a minute, speaking of Wizrobes, coming up here on Speed Gaming starting April 5th is going to be the second Zelda Randomizer tournament where you can see blue and orange Wizrobes not shooting fireballs, but the entire game is going to be completely shuffled and randomized, but you will get your fill of Wizrobes, trust me.
Thank you. Everybody else calls them red. They are that sprite is obviously orange unless you're like colorblind. Okay, yeah, there's like not a whole heck of a lot going on right now. We're picking up some extra armor because it's 100% run and we're gonna equip it. We've got gold armor coming up right here. At least I think that's what it is. I may be like, I've been up for quite a while already and just now starting to run, so I may be way off on like everything that I say ever. But it's okay.
It's okay, we're strictly here to entertain anyhow.
Yeah, as long as everyone's having fun, you know, that's all I care about. Also, I do kind of have to go fast, but mostly in it for the fun factor. Okay, we're not quite there yet, but I'm thinking about it now, so I'm going to say something. When we get down to these enemies, the townspeople, there's a cool little glitch that I can do if I attack and talk to them on like the right frame. You're gonna see Nastier glitch out a little bit, and if we don't get it here, we can get it right after the Ella fight, which is way later. And I hope I get it because it's really cool. I'll explain it if I don't get it on first try. So when I play, I actually, you know, the first time I saw this game was I saw PJ's, I believe, 2011 run of Lagoon, and you know, everyone was just having so fun. It was such an awesome run, and I actually really liked this game from when I was young. I forgot a lot about it when I started watching them play it, but I decided, you know, let's pick it up. And I think it took me 3 6-hour attempts at trying to beat Natella, just like at all at low levels, and then I ended up spending like another 18 hours trying to learn the Ella fight. So yeah, after you get those though, you are like really just, you're a-okay. So yeah, you're gonna see me swinging my sword at these Wizrobes, and that is the very not smart thing to do, but it saves me fireballs, so it saves time. And since I've got a little bit of armor equipped, we'll probably live. I say probably because you just never know. They can shoot those fireballs at just like random times, and you got nothing you can do about it. Unless you're just like mashing fireballs in their face ahead of time. So I think going to get this one chest here saves me like 10 gold. But yeah, like I said before, I do see this as kind of like a collector category. I really love doing 100% of games. Because when I play, especially in RPGs, I'll just pick up like literally everything I can. So that's one thing that's like really cool about this. Oh, and what's great about those whiz robes, again, I was saying, uh, how like dangerous they are. They also give you like the least amount of experience of anything in this entire dungeon, which is just really great. They give 4, and like the other enemies give you like 6 or like 8. So yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like Wizrope, a pain in the butt and no reward.
Yeah. Okay, let's see if I can get the glitch here. If you like pause at a certain time, if I was a little bit early, you could pause at a certain time and you'd be able to see it, but I was late. What happens is it looks like Nasir was like basically in a blender, and his sprites are just like all mixed up, and it's really cool. It's like if you ever watch them do the glitch at the end of Super C, that's pretty much what it looks like. I actually uploaded one of my 100% attempts just for that. It was like a garbage PB, but it was still cool just because like it had that in it.
Yep. So you mentioned uploading the run there just because you had the that fun little incident with the glitch there. Speaking of fun little incidents, if you guys see anything cool here go on throughout the entire stream, we want you to clip it for us. So if you see anything you like that was kind of funny, kind of cool, go ahead and clip it, and then post the link to the clip in chat for us, and that way we can get a whole host of clips together for this marathon.
Yeah, because we're gonna have some highlights, but I mean, we're not gonna necessarily highlight everything that you want to see, and we definitely don't want to see it all. Oops. Out of magic now. So that's one of the things. Like you'll see the screen stutter a little bit. That's not actually stream lag, or at least I don't think it is. Some of it might be, but for the most part, and I believe Flexel. Well, he did start to say something about this during one of PJ's runs. The 2015, I think, was when he last ran this at GDQ, and he said like something like during certain frame intervals, when you stutter your movement, you actually get rewarded with HP and MP, but it's after I think probably about 8 frames. If you just like stop for a little bit, you will get 1 HP and 1 MP. And if you look out at the bottom, you can see that little white bar. That's the player's HP, and it'll only show up like every other HP that you get up. So, like each other second HP that you gain up is a pixel. bit will add. Hopefully that wasn't like too confusing the way I said it, but that's what happens. There's like no in or anything. You could, when you're sitting in town, you can like just like gain your HP up really quickly because it's an accelerated rate. And when you see me kill bosses, it goes like even faster than that, like 2 or 3 times as fast as that. But for the most part, I've got very limited healing items. We've got a healing pot, we've got an elixir, and we'll get a shiny ball. And shiny ball is really cool. What it does is for any screen on the game, it will raise your HP and MP regeneration to what it is in town. So we're gonna use that to just like cheese out the final boss because I want to show it off, and it's really cool.
And that's the only reason we need, because the rule of cool supersedes all.
Absolutely. I was thinking about making it like a full level run, but that would require me to kill like 50 knights at the end, and I think that's just a little bit excessive. That might actually put me over my estimate a little bit, and we don't want to do that. So, yeah, Nitella's fun. Let me explain how she works. And it's actually way more complicated than this. There's a lot of things that you can figure out about her. But I'll just go with the basics, just because I'm doing a marathon here. What it is she starts off, she will charge you immediately, and you have to jump out of the way to avoid her fireballs. Then you have like 2 pixels to line up to hit her. She shoots her fireballs in groups of she starts off shooting fireballs in a group of 4. After that, you got to move out of the way, let her shoot at least 2 fireballs, and you can jump back in front of her. But that will be she'll shoot 6 fireballs at that point total. Then when she gets down to 40% of her health, she gets into desperation phase, which you'll see like every boss do. And with Samson, if you go back and look at the footage, that when he gets down to 40% of his health, that's when he like loses his helmet, and all you see is like a big eyeball or whatever. So when she gets into that desperation phase, she will charge you, and she will continue to charge you, and she does a lot more damage than you will to her. So what your deal is you want to gain up to level 10 at bare minimum level 10 to deal non-minimum damage. If you're in level 9, you deal no damage. Because of a bug in the damage formula. And that's pretty much the first 2 bosses. After that, you no longer have to worry about the damage formula because you can actually get around it. Okay, I'm gonna give myself a little bit of serious time here for this boss. Okay, death number 1. Well, second death overall. And I'm actually going to show you guys something cool to avoid having to worry about. That should not have happened. You can completely have no worries about when she charges at you. Wow, she is doing way more damage than what she should be doing. Let me make sure I've got everything equipped. Yeah, she is doing... I have not seen her do this much damage. I'll just say that much. Not with my gold armor equipped. We will get her a lot faster than PJ did, though, because I think it took, when his first marathon appearance, I think it took him like 8 minutes to kill her. It's not going to quite take that. Oh crap. That's not where I wanted you to move. She moved like right into me. I think she was at desperation help right there, but it was actually not really a way to avoid it. Okay, she moved her pattern a little bit, so... this is about what I expected, actually, because she is really hard in normal play, and marathon looks good to get you. Should be good. So you have, this is exactly like a 1 pixel thing, and I think it might even be a sub-pixel thing. If you might have to wait a second for the screen to catch up with my mic, but yeah, as long as you're standing just barely to the left of her, she can't hit you, but you can hit her. Yeah, 2 hour 50 estimate is just for Natella. Like, the game's over right now. Actually, we got quite a bit more game to go. But that is the hardest part of the run. So we're going to go ahead and equip this, and we're going to save the game, because we do not need to fight her again. So that was a little bit worse than what I thought I would do, but we're okay. It didn't take literally forever. Now, it's possible to one-cycle Samson and Natella, but I've never pulled it off before, so I was not going to try it here. You have to be pretty much frame perfect with your inputs, and I do not have that ability yet. I can 2-cycle Natella sometimes, but yeah, just wasn't going to go for that either. So if you guys are tired of seeing me dying, I promise you that is the last time that we can actually expect me to die, but unless I'm doing something stupid, which that actually will happen later. I will die to something stupid, but deaths are not really expected from here on out.
Yeah, but as you just said, you just talked about it, so you jinxed yourself.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm cool with it. As long as I save enough, we're fine.
And oh yeah, armor.
Oh yeah, I got my armor. The thing is, like when you finish Samson, you have to, or before you actually go to fight Samson, you want to go pick up the armor that I did when I went back to town. If you don't, that town just like gets blocked off and you can never get it again. Which is actually like what I did in my submission run for this. I was like, oops, well, whatever. I think I like ran out of time to submit it or something. So yeah, initially when I was thinking of submitting this to SNES Superstars, like I saw that PJ had already like done a run the year before. So I thought, hey, you know what? I'll challenge PJ to a race because like I have no sense. Like I'm not. I'm actually pretty good at this game, and I'm probably like within 13 minutes of his best time. It's not even that, it's like 12. And so I went onto his chat, went into his room, and I was like, PJ, I went to you know, either challenge you to a run to this or wanted to see if you could help me with commentary. And he did not really want to do either one of those. And PJ is a pretty busy guy, so I can understand that. But like, what was kind of funny about it was like I went in and I challenged him, and then like chat just kind of blew up about it. They were like, "Oh no, just don't do that. Don't put yourself through this." And it was like so depressing. It was like, oh man, PJ, did this game just like break you that badly? And like, it's one of those things like when you see me like mashing to kill enemies, like sometimes I just can't do it because it takes a certain amount of dexterity to be able to do it, and I've got like the beginnings of arthritis in my hand, so sometimes I can't always do it right, and that can really screw me up, especially for like the first two bosses, like what I said. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna pick up a shield early because I don't have enough of the armor. Yeah, had to double check. So I think I started to say earlier how I was gonna start pointing out some of the differences between like my run and BJ's run, and I do things a little bit different, and some of the things I do I feel are a lot faster in some regards. It's just PJ definitely beats me on raw skill with this game because I think I've only had about 3.5 months of practice or something like that. So, pretty good considering that I'm still like way low on the practice chain here. So this is the first thing coming up of what I would do. Normally, PJ would pick up a elixir in the ice cave, which is actually what I'm going to do now because it's going to actually be better financially for me because there's something you can pick up you pick up the one in the ice cave. If you've already got an elixir, it'll change it into gold, and that only gives you 500 gold. So elixirs cost 700, so it doesn't work out in your favor overall. But normally what I do is I will pick up the elixir hero, like I said, for 700 gold, and that saves you about 2.5 minutes for the detour in the ice cave, and that is a lot of time. And also buying it here, it skips out on the fanfare a little bit. So we just got Thor's pendant, and we're gonna equip it because that's the only way we can give it to him. And I haven't really talked much about Thor, but you're gonna find out he is a real jerk here. And it'll become quite obvious when we see him much later on why he is a jerk. What's kind of funny about this is, like, when I'll run this on my channel, and like I've got a small channel as it is, but like nobody will come in and watch this, and like I'll play other games that are like not that well known, but for some reason when I stream this, like just nobody wants to come watch it. I was like, really? I didn't think it was that bad of a game unless you're like playing it, unless you're like running it. Oh, that hurts. After this run, you never want to watch it again. Well, don't worry. I actually don't plan on streaming this too much anymore, just because nobody ever seems to want to watch it. So as soon as you give him that, he gives you the powerful mirror and then flash death. For all you Bleach fans, it's flash death. You'll find out later that this is actually an anime. It just like rivals up there with Dragon Ball Z Tai. So, we got a little bit of platforming on the next screen, and then we're going to enter the dwarf cave, which just has the absolute best porno music that you have ever heard. So just get ready, because we're going to be in there for a lot during this run, and just get yourself comfortable, turn the lights down low, and I just hope you all enjoy it, because it is just going to be awesome. Oops. And make sure you save before you do these jumps, because some of them are pixel perfect or near pixel perfect. And during this dwarf cave, that's going to be my first real chance to actually look at the chat here. Only caught like 3 or 4 comments, but I'll be able to catch more after this. What even are these monsters? That's a good question. Well, in that last screen, the monsters were wolves with squirrel tails that, for some reason, PJ thinks that they're squirrels, but they're not squirrels. They are definitely wolves. And then the other ones are just like, they look like they're shaped as a snail, so they're rock snails. They're volcanic rock snails, so we'll just like call them rock lobsters or something. That's a like Family Guy reference if nobody knows. Really old Family Guy. A B-52 reference. I'm not sure if that's right, but I know like one song by B-52s. That's actually really dangerous. Like everything about that, the zoning of the enemies, it's nearly impossible to get through that alive if you're like actually playing an any percent run. So we're gonna do a whole lot of grinding here. I need to start out with, we're gonna get about, I'm gonna stop about 300 early because we need our 1800 to pick up our Sonic armor. And it's not quite as cool as the gold armor, but it gives us a high degree of protection. After that, we're gonna come right back to this cave and we're gonna spend about 25 minutes doing, I guess, kind of power leveling for a little while, and then it won't be so great leveling after that. And basically, it sucks, but these enemies give you the highest amount of gold of any enemy in the game, which is 10. And we need 10,000 for Shiny Ball. So even after that 25 minutes, I'm still going to have to spend like maybe a handful of minutes coming back to here to get the rest of the money of what I need. So I'm actually only doing half the grind right now, but yeah, you have to get the Shiny Ball in this category. I'm actually doing half of the grind right now. Well, a little over half the grind. That's because the other part of this grind actually like isn't safe. Not just yet. It's actually kind of never safe, but I'll get enough HP and defense that I can at least survive it. So for those of you who are meeting me for the first time, this actually isn't the only game that I play. I do a little bit of Tornado the Last Hope, but I've actually routed 3 games out like completely on my own. And also I just finished the first ever Shining in the Darkness speedrun, which I had actually been working on, but the first finalized one, which is just over 8 hours and utilizes a really, really cool glitch. And if you really want to see it, just go to either my Twitch channel or my YouTube channel. It's on either one of them, Twitch TV /LightningLuke81, and I use the same name for my YouTube channel, and it's really cool, and I'm really excited about it. And I barely got that in time for Summer Games Done Quick, so hopefully we get to see that. It's really cool. Also, I will be working on hopefully Smart Ball, Super Metroid, and Super Adventure Island a little bit later this year. Pokemon Coliseum. Isn't Pokemon Coliseum like one of those really long speed runs where it can take like 14 hours or something? Yeah, like if you don't grind in Lagoon, that is, you are not making good decisions with your life. So, like I briefly talked about the glitch in the damage formula before. There's, if you get to a boss or an enemy like way before you should be fighting them, the game's like, yeah, you shouldn't be here, but we're gonna let you fight the enemy or the boss anyway, and you can do like 1 or 2 points of damage. Normally it's gonna be 2. So that, yeah. But the bosses I've been killing so far, I've been doing 2 points of damage to. And we're gonna be doing a lot more than that on this next boss. He is going to die in probably like 4 or 5 hits. But if your level is like kind of close and you should maybe be there, like for instance, level 9 with the first sword against Natella, the games be like, gee, I don't know how to calculate this, so you're not actually going to do any damage to this boss. And same thing would have happened similar thing would have happened if I'd have gotten up to Samson that way. Just if I had gained 1 more level at the level 5, I would have done 1 damage. See, I probably deserve this. I'm looking over at all the comments here, and I'm seeing nothing but hate for Lagoon. Everybody hates this stream. Unless I was PJ, then PJ would make it fun, but I guess I'm not PJ. Wonder why they hate it. Yeah, it's because Nasir's armed with a better knife, and he doesn't know how to hit monsters unless he's like right up in their faces. Okay, I'll show you the real dangerous thing that I'm going to do a lot more later. That's I call that my little ping pong strategy. Just let Nasir get beat like back and forth, and gives you 20 more gold. So why not? It's killing you. Well, you can go to another stream if you don't like it. I'm still going to run this for people who actually do want to see it. So actually, I'm like high enough level that these enemies aren't going to do all that much more damage to me. But if they actually knock me into the lava, that's when I'm going to be taking a lot more damage. Oh, well, thank you. That's nice. I'll curse on the timer. Yeah, I actually moved my mouse pad in case that's what it was, and it's back up there. Okay. That might help a little bit. I tried to move it before, but I couldn't actually take my eyes off the screen. Let's see, 1360. So we're almost out of here for the first time, but don't worry, we're going to be right back into this. Yeah, I still have the fireball magic, but we're about to get wind magic. Every enemy in here is made out of fire, so they take no damage from it. And what's great about the spells is they don't level up with you. So you're just set at a certain, whatever damage you get from the start, that's what you're stuck with. Alright, we'll make one more pass here, and then we're going to head out. Oh yeah, ping pong strats are the best. Actually, a little bit later when we come back in here, I'm just going to man up and hit all of these dragon heads like head on with my sword, and it's going to be really cool. And that's like the most manliest thing you can do, because what happens is if you get caught by one of these guys, they will drag you to the wall and they will just like hit you constantly. And you get a small amount of like iframes, but like it's not enough. It's like 2 or something, and then you get hit again. So yeah, the shiny ball thing, that is the entire reason why this run is like 1 hour longer than what it normally would be. And we're going to come back in and... Uh-oh. That's what I was talking about with those guys. They just... Whoa. They will run you into a wall and they will just keep hitting you, and it's really dangerous. So this part of the cave treats health regeneration as pound regeneration. Get it back a lot quicker here. So yeah, again, hope you really like the Forno Cave, because we've got 25 more minutes of me doing the exact same thing. But first, we're going to break it up a little bit and grab our Sonic armor. And the reason why I'm doing the grind now instead of later is because we're going to gain up enough levels that I'm actually going to be able to kill enemies a lot faster. This is actually pretty dangerous right here. So we'll make a save. Really dangerous. You can actually just like soft lock yourself completely. There's not a whole lot of room to avoid these guys. If they shoot a fireball and you save, that fireball will just clobber you. Unfortunately, I do have to kill this guy because I need to make it across just one more. I can make it through this fire here because there's a treasure chest I need to get. This is the superest highlight ever. This is about as good as super highlight. Okay, so the Dwarf Desert's still really dangerous. I gained up quite a few levels, so I'm taking less damage, but these guys, at the amount of HP I have, they can still hit me a lot of times. Or they can still kill me in like one hit, maybe 2 hits. So we're gonna try and avoid it as much as possible, but also save. I'm not in the right place. Where actually am I? Okay, that is legitimately, I'm going to chalk that up to being a bit tired here. That is the first time I have ever gotten lost in the Dwarf Desert since I started running this game. But we're back on track now. And if you didn't like crank the volume for the porno cave, just crank it for this. This two-tone town is the best. Oops. So actually there's considerable items for health and whatever, but for the most part, any other item that you see me pick up, like everything is a required item. You can't skip them up, otherwise you just can't progress through the game. And that can be pretty annoying unless you're like me and you're a collector and you're gonna pick that stuff up anyway. So actually, right now, if I were doing an any percent run, I would still have the first shield, I would have no armor, and I would die in like 2 hits from anything here. But now we have the 3rd armor and 3rd shield, and we're actually at an appropriate level for where we're at. and we're going to get way, way ahead of that after this 25-minute grind. Yeah, that first screen, it's not bad, but the second screen, if you want to save enough time, you've got to do most of your jumps with like 1 or 2 pixel leeway of actually making it across the gap. And if you actually don't make your jumps, it's instant game over. You go back to your last save. Yeah, kind of interesting story here. I actually threw my back out twice practicing this, and that's why I didn't get as much practice in as what I wanted, because I had to actually recover from that. So yeah, we'd be playing a little bit better, not too much better though. Normally you just like altogether ignore these rock golems and just wait until one of these dragon heads gets up against the wall and then kill them in any percent. But since I've got so much more HP and I don't have to worry about dying in one hit, I will actually like just man up and run right into the lava golems and just be like, whatever. So we're back to ping pong strategies for the next 15 minutes, or 25 minutes. Yeah, next hour. Honestly, if you would have asked me how long it took to do the 100% run before I actually practiced it, I would have guessed, I don't know, like 6 hours, but it ended up being not too bad. I mean, considering you're getting 10 gold from each enemy and you've got 10,000 gold to raise, it's really not bad at all. Yep. Well, it would be, except there's like bosses and stuff. Like I said, I get the treasure chests and the bosses, and like all the treasure chests and the bosses are like almost 4,000 or 5,000 gold right there. So it's that actually cuts down on the time quite a bit. No, not purely from grinding, but it can sometimes feel like it's that long. But yeah, the grind itself is a little bit complicated because you're wanting to save the most amount of time, because like I said before, you can gain back HP and MP by stuttering. You also normally, if you didn't gain like any HP or MP within maybe like 2 2 or 3 frames of exiting a screen, the game will usually award you an HP or MP as soon as you head on to the next screen. Just as long as you're like not pressing any buttons. So yeah, just managing that, how many wing colors I throw. Actually, the ping pong strategy is kind of precise, and you'll see me miss it quite a few times. But I've got a pretty decent visual cue for it. Yeah. He's just a beast. Like, there is like one level and one combination of armor or whatever where these guys just deal no damage to you, but after you pass that level, they start doing 2 points of damage to you again. Oops, that's not the right direction. So, one of the fun things that you're gonna miss out on is the Ella fight. Normally it takes me about 3 or 4 minutes to beat her, and she's got a desperation mode just like everyone else. Like I said, she will shoot like 5 fireballs when she appears, and she teleports across the screen. And as you're hitting her during the fight, she moves faster and faster. And then when you get her down to her desperation phase, she will stop. And then you have a pretty decent amount of time to hit her. Then she starts teleporting at what seems random at first, but there's actually a pattern to it, and it's 939-77993, which that represents the number of teleports she does before she does a pause. And you have to hit her 128 times to kill her in a normal any percent run. Her hitbox moves, I think PJ said 2 frames before she does, and she can just teleport wherever she wants on the screen. She can even, there's nothing that really stops her from teleporting like right on top of you. So like some days it's worse than Natella to fight Ella, and then other days it's just worse to fight Ella on top of Natella. So it really depends on what battle you were ready for that day. Unfortunately, we're not going to see probably any of that. Hopefully, I skip her desperation phase altogether, and we'll see her die a little bit quicker than 3 or 4 minutes. You might want to be watching the timer for that fight. Oh yes, this is the best hidden gem on the SNES. I mean, I've found a few lately that I really like. Like, I never played, what is it, Knights of the Round, which is a beat 'em up, really cool beat 'em up. Never played that as a kid. And then there's Magic Sword, like really basic name there, and that That is a great arcade game that had I think it was a good port for the SNES. Yeah, I I beat Knights of the Round, I think on like the lowest setting, but I could not beat it after that. Those beat 'em up games just take a whole bunch of practice. The only one that you can do without like really that much practice is Turtles in Time, which, come on, let's face it, that was probably the best beat 'em up game of all time. It was one of those games where you just wanted to play it more, like no matter how much you played it, until you finally beat it on the hardest setting. Yes, this is 100%. Battletoads and Double Dragon is that is the best speed run of a beat 'em up game ever. If you have never seen that speed run, oh my god, just type that in on YouTube. It is the glitchiest game ever. Like, the only game that I have ever seen with more glitches in it than Battletoads and Double Dragon is Super Mario World, and most of those glitches you're just not even going to see in a speedrun. Shout outs to Nathan is bored. He just broke that game so hard. There are so many glitches in his Let's Glitch Super Mario World series. Go watch that, dude. It's outstanding. And those aren't even all the glitches. I mean, we're still finding glitches for that game. No, I've never asked until now. What the heck? What? I see it in chat right now that PJD board or whatever. What is that? Like, board? I've never seen board spelled that way. What even does that mean? Never once asked that. I do not understand it. Uh-oh. We were going for a ride. Oh, alright. Okay, that makes sense now. I just don't hang out in his channel as much as I thought I would. All the explanations in chat. Just scroll up a little bit. It's just like a play on the word bird. Like an ironic misspelling of it. That sounds about right. Okay, about just another minute here, and we'll start actually playing the game again. If you're seeing me stopping, there might be a little bit of buffering on the screen. I'm actually not stopping at all. No matter how much I upgrade my computer, I still seem to have problems every once in a while streaming, so you're probably just getting like late frames or something. Okay, that should be good enough. We'll come back for, like I said, maybe a few minutes when I come back, and I actually have to take out the shiny ball, but for right now, we're done with that. And I am being really careless because I have so much health. Oh, okay, so you're wondering why I'm doing the same two things, and this is the 100% category. So we have to pick up this really cool thing called the shiny ball, which costs 10,000 gold to buy, and enemies only give you 10 gold apiece, except for bosses. The maximum is 10 for the normal enemies, and those guys just happen to give me 10, and they spawn pretty quickly, so that's why I was killing a whole bunch of them. But we're, for the most part, done with that. Okay, real slow there, 2-cycle. Actually, he's really annoying in 90% because he just goes all around the screen, and you can trap him in the upper left-hand corner, but if you are off a little bit about how you do things, that's not what I want to do. We want to go to magic and switch my magic for basically till we get back into that cave. I forget where I was, but yeah, the whole reason is we're just grinding out the gold that we need. It's really the fastest way to do that. I think I was also talking about Eardon. Yeah, you can trap him up in the upper left-hand corner, but if you mess up your inputs any, he breaks loose, and it takes a little while to reset him. You can manipulate him pretty well, but that's just not fun. Yes, Turtle Kano. He's just a big magma-based lump of turds. Mikeyama came up with that name, and nobody's gonna correct him. The game says it's Eardon, but it's obviously Turtle Kano. So it would be kind of faster for me to go this direction later to pick up my sword, but I can kill enemies so much faster that I'm almost certain that it saves me time going to get it now instead of later when it's just a little bit faster because it's kind of on our way. And you're going to see me do that with the final sword, the moon sword, as well. And it's going to be for the same reason. Enemies just die a little bit faster, and it saves a lot of frames overall. Oh no, I did not explain that. Yeah, when you get hit, you get pushed back if it's a projectile, but if you get hit by the sprite, it pulls you back through the sprite. So the way to avoid damage is to press the direction that you're actually being pulled through to avoid taking more damage, because that will shoot you the other direction. This is actually Siegfried Castle is the biggest reason why I did my the majority of my grind early on, is because if you screw up, you can take tons and tons of damage from these guys. And it's not hard to actually get hit by them, because the green guys move really fast, and these Mickey Mouse elephants, they move really slow. And moving really fast and really slow in this game equals you're actually really hard to hit. Normally I'd throw them up against the wall, but since I do so much damage, it's actually faster to just like hit them out in the middle of nowhere. So this is the only time where I'm not equipping my armor and my shield right away, and that's because of this power ring that I'm going to pick up, not in this next box, but the box after. There's that's besides the glitch that I was talking about, the visual glitch when you attack and talk to a person. This is the only other glitch that I know of in the game. And basically, when you go to your equipment screen, you equip a ring, like a power ring or defensive ring, and it raises your power or defense respectively. And then when you exit, it will drain your health, or it drains your mana, and once your mana is gone, then it unequips the ring for you, and you lose a bonus. But it doesn't actually calculate. You don't actually lose a bonus. It doesn't calculate that. And actually, I just messed up and went to my equipment screen anyway, so we may have to do that one more time. But it doesn't calculate that you have unequipped the ring until you actually either level up or until you go back into your equipment screen. So you still got the bonus for equipping it, but the game doesn't think you're actually equipping it. So we just picked up a really, really suspicious looking weed. I mean, we picked up a plant that's apparently a mint, and we're going to give it to the priest. Definitely nothing wrong, suspicious, or weird about that at all. those worms right there, the one-eyed worms, if you are trying to attack them vertically, I don't know where their hitbox is. They have the worst hitbox in the game. So I'm kind of surprised, like, after I get them the weed, after I give them the mint, I'm surprised that these guys are just like all in a circle like they would be the old wise men that you talk to in Final Fantasy 1. We got to talk to each one of these guys in order. If you miss one, you got to go back. If you don't have the mint and you don't give them the mint, you just like, these guys just aren't even here. They won't talk to you. By the way, it is pronounced Dumas. And if you don't get that reference, it's a 90s commercial reference. Look that one up on YouTube too. It's awesome. It's pronounced Dumas. Yeah, there's like, so I'll go into my item screen like right before I beat the final boss. Then we'll see how many items I have. The thing is, there's 3 consumable items. I think a total of 3 in the game. One of them is the Moonstone. We're gonna use that way late in the game. There's the movable mantle, and there's like one more on top of that, and I forget what it is. But basically, when we go to our final item screen, we'll see those 3 items missing, and I've never seen anything appear in the bottom right-hand side of the screen, so I'll be missing a total of 6 items in my inventory screen. Oh yeah, there is hot lava and muddy water just all over this game. Like, I'll point out the muddy water when we're headed back for the shiny ball. I probably won't, I'll probably forget. Let's double check, make sure our power ring is equipped. This is something I should have done before I started the battle, but it actually doesn't really lose any time. You can just do it at any time. Pay close attention to its health. Goodbye. Yeah, there's a solid hour of lava and mouse pointers. Okay, I promise you, like, any percent run, this section is really dangerous. Like, everything, the Siegfried Castle, just overall, the basement is really hard. This is kind of hard. It can be really hard depending on how the soldiers are set up. And these aliens, not on this screen, but on the next screen, that shoot laser beams. The laser beams just like, they do a whole lot of damage. And they're going to hit me a few times, but I've got a lot of defense now, so it's not going to be as much as what I normally would take. I really should stop trying to fight them like head on at all, but good sense is not on my side since I'm speedrunning Lagoon right now. Well, this is gonna blow the minds of some people in chat. Like, I played, what is it, Wise 3 for SNES, and I got to the end of the game and I just didn't want to beat it. I got to the final boss, but the mechanics in that were just such garbage that it's basically just like spam attack and hope you kill the enemy before they kill you. And I just could not get into it. I actually think this is a much more fun game than Wise is. Yeah, you know, they never really explain why the castle just like rises out of the ground like that. At least I don't think they do. Yeah, I'm actually never going to call it that. I'm going to continue to call it Wise because there's only one letter and it's Wise, so I'm going to keep calling it Wise. Okay, so now we've got the ice cave. It's going to be really short, and we're going to fight Thamao, which PJ lovingly calls Mad Mr. Frosty. Whatever you call him, the fight against him is absolute garbage. And so normally I used to fight him in a way where I had to be like sub-pixel perfect every time. I swear, it's not pixel perfect, it's sub-pixel perfect every time. I found a slightly easier way to do it by attacking the octopods from behind. And then the snowball itself in the center charges you down. And from what I've gathered by everything that I've watched when I've watched PVA play it, he thinks it's completely random. It's pretty random, but not completely random from what I could figure out. And I just died out to him trying to explain things instead of paying attention. There is a place that I can stand where he will likely allow me to get the first hit on him, and I'm dying again. I need to stop talking, but I'm not going to. So there's a place where you can get him to stop if you're standing there. I get it about 50% of the time, but the snowball is a little bit random about its stops. So you can kind of manipulate them, but not completely. Usually I have my power ring equipped here, so we'll put the defensive ring for once. I like just being able to stem lock him as much as possible. This will give me a few extra hits. I think I've been up for a total of 17 hours now, so just give me a little bit of break on this. Okay, not too terribly bad. Oh, no breaks. No mercy. So yeah, if you attack them from the front, you've got like a sub-pixel perfect lineup in order to not get hit by the octopods, but I swear if you attack them from the back, that ups it to like, I don't know, like 6 pixels where you can actually hit them and not get hurt. But if you're just rushing in as fast as what I did, you'll get hit left and right. So we're finally going to grab the elixir, because it's a little bit faster grabbing it on the way back, I think. Also, that's while fighting Thamao, I decided that since Ella actually the reason why I'm doing it is for Ella. I developed a safe strat where I spend about 9 minutes in an any percent run just grinding in the ice cave. I'm not going to do that now because it's completely unnecessary, but that gets me set up to level 23, which I think is the lowest level where you can do non-minimum damage to her, and it makes the fight so much faster, and like everything from that point on is so much faster. Like I every time I come to Lility, I want to call it Littly, because I don't know, it sounds better than calling it Lility, but I guess it kind of means the same thing. One of the best sound effects in this game, by the way. Choose to go fight these guys on my way back because they're just a little bit safer than getting hit with long range attacks. Oh, you saw me attack and miss. Well, you'll probably see in a second. You see me attack and miss, and that's because the hitboxes on the sword are kind of skewered a little bit. Like if you're attacking upwards and an enemy is just a little bit to your right, you can hit them with your sword and they can't actually hit you. So you'll see it sometimes where you could swear I would hit an enemy and I just don't, and sometimes it looks like I'm like a pixel or two off and I actually will hit them. It's just because the game's programmers are just bad at programming hitboxes. I'm actually just now realizing that we actually only spent 15 minutes in the Dwarf Cave last time, so instead of 25 like I thought I was going to do. So yeah, we've got quite a bit more Dwarf Cave left. So yay if you like 70s porno music. Oh yeah, Zello actually ran this game as well. He, I guess, did it completely in secret because when I was looking for people who ran this game, all I could find was like TJ, and one guy had like a forum written out on it, and he never did finish, I don't think, a single segment. I have not finished a single segment myself, but I haven't put a whole lot of time into this game either. I'm not actually going to be able to save in the boss room. I doubt my amount of experience with this game is really more than maybe 300 or 400 hours. So not much in terms of speedrunning. Yeah, if you go to the leaderboards at speedrun.com, you can find Zello's run there. He uses some different strategies than what I use, and different than what PJ uses. So if you need like a break, you need to get up and stretch or whatever, now's the time to do it, because we're going to be in this cave for probably another 15 minutes now. Or if you want, just sit back, chill out, and enjoy the music and my little game of ping pong that I have in between these couple of dragon heads. Oh yeah, if you just sat down, just chill out. I think after this run, though, I've got like 64 followers now, but I'm probably going to like lose half of them. They're gonna be like, "Oh man, he really did that run." Nope, we can't watch him anymore. Yeah, please, everybody follow me and unfollow me. Unfollow the runner. Well, oh boy. At least this hasn't been boring for me. Looking over at chat periodically when I can, and seeing some fun stuff going on. I died a fire thing. I owe everybody a Coke and a pizza. Well, if you noticed, I'm not playing ping pong anymore. It's not because the dragon heads are difficult themselves, but when I get stuck in the lava, I take just tons and tons of damage, so we're just being a little bit extra safe about this. Oh, and I haven't talked about the loading times that much. If it's not obvious yet, like every time you leave a screen, it takes 4 seconds, right around 4 seconds for it to load the next screen. That's why I go down there and play ping pong with those two, because it's just less time that you have to waste with loading the screens. And it's the same thing every time you go into the item screen. Like, if you menu efficiently in the item screen or the weapon screen or any of the other sub screens, it's still like 8 seconds. That's like 4 seconds to get in and 4 seconds to get out. It kind of reminds you of the days of playing Diablo on PS1. Like, if you own a PS1 and Diablo and you're still playing it on your PS3 or PS2, go back to playing it on PS1 and just enjoy your like 20-minute loading screen. It's the best experience ever. I highly recommend it. Yeah, I will not play the PC version of that game. I won't play the PC version of just about any game, honestly. I've always owned consoles growing up, and that's just always what I've played on. I didn't care for... You're hearing how old I am right now. I never cared for when they added like the online stuff. It's like, why do I have to update every time I turn on my console? I don't care about your updates. Just let me play the game. Probably not half the time, but it would save a good, probably half hour, pretty close, in just this run. And any percent run, it would probably save you about 5 to 10 minutes. So yeah, these load screens are just awesome. So just a little bit further, guys, for those that have missed the explanation, I'm sitting in here grinding. We need shiny ball, and that is 10,000 gold to get. We've got probably just over 8,400 gold right now, and it gives you a really accelerated MP and HP growth regen, actually, for just one screen. And we'll use that on the final boss. Actually, while I'm doing this, and I've got some time, does anyone want to see like what the other magics do? Because it takes like maybe a minute or two to show everything off. If you guys want to see some of the other magic I've got, we've got plenty of time to do that. I'll still come in pretty well under estimate. I'm not wearing the protection ring. I have leveled up since I last equipped it, which unequips it. If you missed my explanation about the ring glitch earlier, it unequips itself after you run out of MP, but it doesn't actually update that you've unequipped it until you either gain a level or go into the equipment screen. So it actually stays around longer. The bonus actually stays around a lot longer than it should, which is really helpful, especially on the final boss rush, because the final boss is a gauntlet of 6 enemies, and let's see, trying to catch up with the chat here. Doesn't look like too many people really care about the extra magic here. But the final boss rush is 6 enemies, and none of them give you any experience. So if you equip your power ring at the beginning of the boss rush, you just like keep it equipped. As long as you don't have to go back into the equipment screen, but chances are you will, just to equip an item called the curing ring. Okay. All right, it looks like I got a couple people from chat actually wanted to see the magic, so let's show off some magic. Okay, this is another first level magic. Like, it's actually kind of surprising me because, like, even I haven't seen these like a really long time. Okay, so we've seen all but this fireball. The later magic just costs, it takes so much time to get the MP up for it. And it has a chance of missing the monsters. They're all going to be immune to lava anyway, so yeah. Let's see. What's our next one? Now we got the Wind Blaster. What else do we got? Gateway Hammer. Gotta wait just a little bit for empty here. Oh, it's lagging. You can't see it, but it's definitely lagging. There's one room later in the game. It's in Lagoon Castle. There's no enemies. There's just nothing on the screen except for Nacer and some blue hallways, and I swear that is the laggiest screen in the game. Apparently blue is the laggiest color ever. So just keep that in mind when you're like creating games or playing games. That was basically like the other water magic that we just used. Really not all that exciting. Let's see. We got Typhoon now. Just one more to show off until I get the level 4 magics. I'll try and remember to show those off when we get into Lagoon Castle. I haven't been checking. We're probably pretty close. Okay, yeah. We're almost to the end of the grind here. Okay, apparently that killed the monster off screen. And we got the water rush, which I won't have MP4 for just a little bit here. Yeah, I can one-hit them, they spawn really fast, and they give me the maximum amount of gold that a single non-boss enemy can give me. Try for just a little bit more MP here because I don't think I have enough yet even. And let's see if we can cast it now. Nope. not quite enough empty, and I kind of expected that. Like, these spells, they just aren't helpful in the speedrun, so I just never equip them. So there we go. We killed the dragon head off screen again. So we need just under 500 more gold, and then we're gonna leave this place. We get to kill a few enemies on the way out, so that limits the amount of time that we actually have to spend in here. So we're going to be kind of wrapping up after this, and you know, been goofing around and making fun of Lagoon. In fact, I played Lagoon, and how terrible I've been playing, whatever. All in good fun. But I really do want to thank all you guys for showing up. This is the largest number of people that I've actually had to play for by a lot. I think the most people I've played for prior to this is like maybe 100 people. So I really appreciate it. Like, I wouldn't be doing this if I actually didn't enjoy it. I don't run any games that I don't love, and I really love this community. So thanks to all you, and thanks to Feasel for putting up with me and allowing me to be in this event, because yeah, that's about all I have to say about that. And you could tell if I was just playing games for getting the viewers, because I'd be like playing like League or Dota. I'd even at least, you know, speedrun something half good, like maybe Link to the Past or Super Metroid. But I'm gonna speedrun the games I love. Yeah, this game is really fun. Like I said, the only problem is like the hitboxes. That is the #1 major issue with the game, is the hitboxes suck and you can't really hit anything. But other than that, it's real fun. It was really well made, I think. It wasn't really well programmed, and I think the worst part is I think that they like did it on purpose. Oh boy. I tell you what, I am going to fall asleep after this run. We've got Super Iria, or Hyper Iria, I believe, after this. It's a game I've never even heard of. and I'm probably butchering that. We're done goofing around. We're done grinding, and I will show off the rest of the magic, assuming I don't forget. We've got like all the thunder magic to show off because I don't have that crystal and all of the 4th level magic. So we've got that to look forward to. But other than that, we're just going like really fast now. No pauses or anything. Alright, fair enough. I'm just glad that I'm remembering to save, because a lot of those deaths could have been a lot worse than what they were. The first one was like the worst just because I could have avoided losing like a minute and a half or whatever. But then after that, I started saving a lot better. So there we go. That was all our money just wasted on one item. Actually gonna stand here for just a little bit because we need our HP and MP just maxed out again. There we go. Yes, the object of our grinding is the shiny ball. We will show it off. I mean, really, there's only like a handful of other items in my item screen that I can use, and they're just health items, so like they're not really all that impressive. The life ball that I picked up from killing Thamal, it's an auto reanimate, gets your HP back to full after you've died. It works once in like any battle. You can just like use it anywhere. It doesn't operate though if you fall down one of the holes. If you fall down one of the holes, game over. In fact, I'll show it off here. I didn't get a chance to show it off earlier, so we'll show it off now. Like, you would think it would be like, you know, a good game like Link to the Past, which is also kind of like an action adventure RPG type thing, where if you fall down, you know, they forgive you, you lose a little bit of health, and you come back. But no, this game is just like, yeah, screw you, you fell in. It was very obvious that you were gonna fall into, so you just lose a lot. You don't lose a life, you just go back to your last save spot. Macy is just gonna start taking on all these fire dragons with his face and his sword. Like at this point, I just don't even need to care. Oh, I missed up the last ping pong of like the entire game, but that's okay. If any of you actually did follow me, though, I can and will run this upon request. And it looks like the channel just got rated for a lot of people. And it looked like SMK, so thank you, SMK, for the raid. Very much appreciate it. We're coming to the end of the Lagoon 100% run. And we've just like finished all our grinding. We've got some magic to show off here towards the end. The bosses, which aren't really even going to seem like bosses because they're just going to die so quickly. If you want to see real Lagoon bosses, just watch an 90% run. I swear that these guys, like I'm like in no danger of dying to them, but their hitboxes are just so awful that I don't even want to square up to hit them. I'm killing a few extra guys on my way, but I'm not going like out of my way to grind on them anymore. Once we get at the Lagoon Castle, like enemies give us like 300 experience. These guys give me like 26. So not really worth wasting a whole lot of time on them, but it does help. Again, like I said, we have like 4-second load screens, and those are just awful. So you really want to be killing enemies like on your way, like whenever possible. Just a good general rule of thumb for like this entire game. I'm just gonna skip fighting these guys altogether because their experience, it just does not matter. And I don't think I've said it the entire stream, but since we got a big raid here, I am LightningLuke81. And again, this is 100% Lagoon if you're just joining us. So we grabbed every item, every piece of equipment in the entire game. I would also like to be kind of selfish here and give a shout outs to the runner that was supposed to help me with commentary because of the way things went. He wasn't going to be able to be here today, but Scavenger216, if you guys aren't following him, please go follow him. He's a real awesome guy. He's trying to get partner with Twitch. I wouldn't say anything about it, but he's also got I think a 12-year-old daughter that he's got to take care of, and he really needs the money. But he runs a bunch of Super Castlevania 4, and he works on Rondo of Blood now and then, and the streams are just awesome. Okay, and I know I mentioned this way back before, like when I was still doing the grind, but we've got Ella coming up here. And I told you that she had the pattern of 939779993. If somebody wants to talk about that again in chat, they can, but we're going to skip all that. But basically, it's this like 3 or 4 minutes epic fight normally when I do an 90% run. But this is going to be a little bit different, so pay attention to how much time it takes. I think that was about 10 seconds. But she gave me a good pattern. Yeah, I kind of like tune them out. They don't usually get in my way or anything. I don't notice them unless somebody like brings them up. Okay, this is my last chance at getting the graphical glitch. Here's hoping. Oh, I think I might have got it. Yes! That was all worth it, just for that. I don't care about anything else that happened in the run now. That was absolutely worth it. If you missed it, like, just check this broadcast in the stream, just rewind it a little bit, and you'll see Nasir just like look like he'd been in a blender or something. Okay, let's get some magic back. I'm gonna wait for all my magic because I'm gonna need it to cast all the spells. This is actually much longer than I would normally wait. Okay. What do we got up first? Let's go ahead and run through all the thunder magic real quick. Ah, we can't even see it. There we go. So I only cast that like a handful of times, and it used up half my magic. So I gotta be a little bit more careful about using it. Let's see what this one does. There we go. Next one, Thunderbolt. Then I won't be able to cast anything else like for a real long time after this. Because all we've got is level 4 elemental spells, but luckily there's another place for me to gain my MP and HP back really fast. Oops. Well, that didn't help. Let's switch the magic then. I'm used to having fireball magic here, so I will use that to basically knock enemies against the wall. So kind of a force of habit there. So the direction I'm going here is not the normal direction that you would go in a speedrun, but because you get to pick up the moon sword this way, it makes enemies die just a little bit faster, and it evens out to where it's faster overall. But you're actually losing like 5 seconds on the walkover. It just evens out, I promise. I didn't quite make that jump because I'm terrible. Let's just check out the rest of the magic on this screen because it takes a really, really long time. Actually, I don't think I'll even let me cast the magic on this screen, so I'll find ways to get it out, though. This is just the fastest magic recovery. Oh, yep, we can't cast it. Thanks for the good luck, Cruel. We're almost done with the game, though. Okay, I think this one's my favorite. The Phoenix. Like, all these spells have a chance of missing, so it's not really all that good. I'm actually going to equip the proper one for right now. So we got to see all of them. But all of these magic, they all have a chance of missing. So you waste like your entire MP bar casting one of those spells, and then you get just like nothing out of it. I don't know if they're like blocking it or evading it, but it just has a chance of missing. I mean, this is basically it. We're almost done. And you'll probably be surprised to know that this is probably the easiest and probably least random run of any run that I do. So it's still kind of hard sometimes, like I mentioned before, with like the button presses, because you gotta press them so fast. If you've got bad hands like what I do, it may not be the game for you. And if you want to see the most random run ever, just check out my Tornado the Last Hope speedrun. It's roguelike and it's a Dragon Warrior game. Somebody actually tried to argue with me in Scavenger's stream the one time. They're like, no, Conquest of the Crystal Palace is the most random speedrun. Well, I didn't want to like completely fill up his entire chat with like everything that's random about the game, but I could probably list easily 200 things that make it the most random game like ever. The only other thing that would be even close to as random would be like the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games. You know, just like another roguelike. Blue's one of the fastest speedruns ever. So is Monopoly. If you like board games, you can watch some of the board game speedruns. They're pretty fast. Well, I'm not in any kind of danger, but I don't remember the last time I saved, so we're gonna save. Basically, like, magic at this point in the game just does nothing to monsters. The only stuff that does damage just costs way too much to use, and it's, again, we've already gone over why it's not worth it. So basically, the reason why I have the fireball magic is that it just pushes enemies where I want them, which is up against the wall, so I can kill them in a few quick strikes. That's literally the only reason to actually use any magic whatsoever right now. We can actually go ahead and equip that right now. Oh, I actually forgot to. I picked up the moon sword telling everybody it was faster, and like I never equipped it. Okay, so we're about to get this curing ring here, and I'm definitely going to show off what this does because it's really cool. It's a real fast way to recover your health. We're not going to do it quite yet, but I'll do it right before the battler fight. They actually changed that without me knowing. The actual time that I submitted for this was 3 hours. I told them that I could probably do it in about 2 hours and 50 minutes, and we're like right around that pace. I think we'll finish it like a couple minutes faster than that. There was a string of unfortunate deaths against Natella and a few other places, but nothing's gone like really, really terribly, horribly wrong. So about the best I could expect with being up for so many hours and then starting the game. If I do the final boss rush efficiently, it's like 3 minutes. Maybe 4. And these knights here, they just get ridiculous amounts of experience. Like, you get maybe a maximum of 100 in like any other area of the game, but like once you start to get to Lagoon Castle, you start fighting crabs, which give you 300. These guys give you 350. There's guys. Why am I equipping magic? We don't need magic. There's guys in the final dungeon that give you like 400 experience. And here's what the curing ring does. And what's nice is, like, even when you're moving, you still get that effect. It's just, with this ring, there's not the glitch, like the power ring and the defensive ring. It's just, once you run out of MP, you no longer get HP back. Yeah, this is basically no bigger than Shiv. Okay, so I still have my power ring equipped. And if I died Battler, it's because I'm being, like, really, really stupid. This is a pretty safe spot down here. He's got more teleport spots up at the top, but just around the spot where I was at is where he just like can't hit you at all. There's actually a little further to the left that I actually want to be standing, but you know, it's like whatever. And here's how awesome Lagoon is. Like, you think you'll accidentally fall in like this, and you'll be like, huh, well, what do I do now? You're actually supposed to jump over the ocean, but you can jump a little early, and as long as you land on the island, you're okay. So that's like one of the many, many places, like if you're new to this game, you'll just get like lost at. So we're going to get the final item in the game, which is our ring. It's a time ring. It's pretty cool because it stops enemies. And then that's it. We've gotten everything. The one there's a defensive ring and a protect ring, and I forget which one's which, but the one that I equip actually gives me defense, and the other one just does nothing. And there's one last thing here real quick. I'll just show off what the time ring does. It would be cool if this worked like for the final boss, but it only works for like normal enemies. Yep. Just wail on them all you want, but like it doesn't last that long, obviously, because your MP's just draining so fast. So we'll go back and get our HP back up a little bit here. And I'm actually gonna unequip this. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, I was thinking I couldn't unequip it at all, but yeah, I still can. It's like we probably have kind of a problem there, if that was the case. Alright, so we gained up our final level that we're going to gain up. That was basically why I was sitting and fighting a few of these guys, but no more. We don't... It takes way too long to gain up a level. It's like, I don't know, 40,000 or something. And when the enemies give you like 350 to 400 apiece, it's just not worth it. So since we leveled up, we'll have to re-equip our power ring, and we're going to do that in just a second here. And I'm going to try and not get too cocky this time, and actually use my elixir, my healing items. So we're just going to do one try at this boss rush, and we're just going to destroy him. So there's green gargoyle and red gargoyle, and you have to get to the left of them and let them approach you from the right. Otherwise, you're just going to have a really, really bad time fighting them. So remember our good buddy Thor back at the beginning of the game? Well, he's back, and he's fighting you. And this is why he was a jerk, because he's a bird. And that's all there is to him. I tried to get that graphical glitch to work here, but the message just like covers up your sprite, so you can never actually get it. So we're coming on to the final boss here. I'm gonna quit this shiny ball, and we'll go ahead and use that. Basically what happens when I load up the next screen, he's going to flash 11 times, and then he'll teleport directly on top of me. I can move straight down, but bad things happen if I move straight down. So I don't do that anymore, and you can completely avoid damage. Basically after that, he can teleport a little bit early, and that can like throw you off really badly. So let's hope for not early teleport, but we're going to be gaining HP so fast that there's no way this guy's going to kill us. I'm actually even going to equip my defensive ring, so like it'll make it even harder for him to kill me. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11. So he teleports on top of you a whole bunch and makes life really, really bad for you. So that's it. Like I said, we have Hyper, what is it again? Hyper-Area or something up next. So launch that. Thank you again to everyone who joined me. I really appreciated it. I appreciate this opportunity to run this game. We'll let the ending play out while everybody's figuring out what's going to happen with the next run.
Well, I can inform you on that one. In just a little bit, we're going to be moving on to Hyper-Area. We're currently setting Cassisby up, so we should have that up and running in just a little bit. So yeah, feel free to let the ending play out while we set him up.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. So yeah, I know I didn't get a chance to look over at chat as much as I would have wanted to, but if anyone has any quick questions for me before I go, just go ahead and add them, and I'll try and answer them. Don't get too heavy on them though, because I'm going to be gone pretty soon. How to become a famous speedrunner. Number 1, just don't play Lagoon. Number 2, don't play Lagoon. And number 3, just don't ever play Lagoon. And you should be on your way to being a very famous speedrunner. Oh yeah, PJ is going to be running the any percent category of this later on, and you'll see it's going to be a completely different game. I think that's like around Friday. Yeah, the music in this is either really good or just plain awful. I haven't been adding max level into 100%, it just seemed unnecessary. We grabbed all the items, all the equipment. There are no, like, rules for the category yet. Yeah, 100% usually just means item collection, so as long as you got 100% of the items, you're good to go.
Okay, thank you, Lightning, for the Lagoon run.
Yeah, thank you.
And as I said, we'll quickly be moving on towards the next run, towards Hyper-Area. In the meantime, people in chat, you guys are watching the SNES Superstar Marathon, an 11-day marathon solely surrounding around all kinds of SNES games. We've got some of the best runners on a lot of these games, so plenty of runs to look out to. On top of that, this channel, aside from being used for the marathon specifically, is also very often used as a tournament channel. So even when the marathon is not going on, there's plenty more to watch. Currently, this channel is hosting 4 different tournaments: the Shovel Knight tournament, 2 Mega Man tournaments, one for Mega Man 3 and one for Mega Man X2, as well as an Ori and the Blind Forest tournament. Now, if that wasn't enough, there is a few more tournaments that are going to be starting real soon. We've got a Zelda randomizer tournament starting on April 5th, a Mega Man X3 tournament starting on April 24th, and a Banjo-Kazooie tournament starting on May 1st. So there'll be quite a few runs coming up, or quite a few tournaments coming up on this channel, all the same. So if you are enjoying the marathon and would like to see more awesome speedruns going around during, on this channel, be sure to check out those tournaments as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. There's this channel is just full of content. There's always something going on in this channel, so just keep your eyes open.
I am quickly looking over to see if we're almost good to go for the Hyper Area run. Should be coming up in just a second. I've looked over at this run a little bit, and it looks like a really weird little combination between a fighter and a platforming game. I haven't actually looked at the run, or I haven't actually played the game myself, but definitely looked like a very interesting run to watch. So we'll be seeing more of that in just a second. Now, I just got the sign that we're just about ready to go, so let's give it up for Cassisby and Hyper Area.
Okay, goodbye.